Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, it's Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. Everything I say here is just for educational purposes only. I'm not a professional. Please do your own research. Trading is risky. I had a great break and am now really happy to get back to the charts and market. And let's start. I'm going to be doing a review today on Bitcoin and the majors, and I guess we'll go from there. So right here is I have a Bitcoin chart with a Fibonacci extension, and I am expecting price to eventually test 30,000 if this current area of 26K is broken. I'm sorry, 27K. And as you scale down, the Fib extensions are pretty good in general, in my opinion. You can kind of see this 24 and a half. Here, I'll make this a little more condensed. You can see this 25K acting as resistance. It's not perfect, and if I fibbed this a little more accurately, it probably would be a little tighter, but this current area was resistance. As you can see, price broke through and now is going to the next fib area. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see this break up to 30,000. 30,000 is a very logical, psychological number. It's nice and even, similar to 20,000. I am expecting this to go to 30,000 on high time frame charts. This is still incredibly bullish. You can't call this bearish at all. Even if this were to dip down to 20,000, that's still just like a 30% retrace, and that's still really, it's still fine. It's still a very bullish market structure. You know, if this grinds up to 30, comes back down after like a big shakeout period, comes back down to 20,000. That's still going to be a higher low formed, and I don't necessarily think that's going to be the macro top. If you look at the way that price basically came to this 20K level and higher, this move right here, and we can just really just delete this. This move right here going to 20,000 and beyond, this was quite a bit different in my opinion than when price went from, you know, the 3,000s all the way up to 20,000. This move right here was quite a bit more parabolic in my opinion, whereas this move in 2020 had a lot more ranging periods where price just straight up accumulated. And there were a lot of arguments for accumulation all throughout the summer and the early fall. And price basically just ranged for weeks on end and months. And the way that price did this, in my opinion, is quite a bit different than in 2017. 2017 pretty much did not have many pullbacks at all, just kept going up higher and higher. Once it started going from, 7,000, it 3x in price pretty quickly, whereas this market structure seems quite a bit different than in 2017. So what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that I don't really expect price to have a 2017 blow off top type of price action and then go all the way back down to $10,000 to 10Ks. Of course, you never say never in crypto. It might hit up there, then maybe it just goes back down, and maybe that's just it for a while. But I personally believe that what's more likely is that we will see price hit 30,000 or maybe 35,000. I'm not sure where this is going to stall out. I think that it makes sense for price to come back down to 20,000 area, just in terms of this being a demand area. And even if it goes from 30K to 20K, as I said, a 30% correction, it really isn't bad at all, in my opinion. By crypto standards, that's completely normal. Like, we're used to losing 50% on a day. Traditional market people would shit themselves, but in crypto, that's like totally normal. And seeing a big shakeout period, in my opinion, it'd be healthy, and it's something that I would like to see. Not just because I trade altcoins, but just for the overall sustainability of this move. I think it's like a healthy thing to see. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm really wanting to see, is basically a move to 30 to 35,000, shake out to 20,000 or maybe a little lower depending, and then for price to enter this big old ranging phase for a few months. I don't expect it to go this long. I'd like for price to build a base, and then for price to just go on an absolute moon mission in 2021 to, I don't know, 50,000 or something like that. I have no idea. But that's kind of what my projection is for Bitcoin. I'm still waiting for a big pullback. I don't know when or where it's going to happen, but I'm just assuming that price will eventually pull back. It's just the way markets move, in my opinion, and I just don't know where it's going to happen. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in terms of Bitcoin, and I think that this is a bullish market structure. Any dip should be bought. ETHUSD, I have many charts of this going basically 100% starting in December. And it's quite possible that price, this was the low in December 7th right here. But if you look at the previous 3 years, and I'm not going to go through that chart again because everybody's probably seen it, but ETHUSD has basically gone on a run starting in December where it goes at least 100% return on investment over the next few months, and it has the last 3 years. I don't see why this year should be any different, and I really, really expect ETHUSD to just go to at least 1K. I think it's highly likely that this goes to $1,000 at least. Even if you use the December 7th lows here, over the next few months, I think that this goes to $1,000. And any dips for ETH should be bought, in my opinion. ETH is one of my biggest spot bags, just because I think that this one is going to do very well over the coming months. And it wouldn't surprise me at all to see this go to $1,000. In terms of lower time frame charts, I mean, you still see really healthy volume coming in, and you might have thought this heavy sell volume was scary, but given the context of the market and given Bitcoin is doing so strongly, I expect ETHUSD to follow Bitcoin. And this heavy sell side pressure was just absorbed. Buyers just kept buying all these dips, and then price kept moving up. So in my opinion, it's very risky to short ETHUSD. I expect this one to do very well over the coming months. I don't know how many multiples it's going to do, but I do expect it to at least hit $1,000 in the coming months. I think it's just super likely, and I would be very surprised if this didn't do that. ETH-BTC has been in this arguable range, and ETH-BTC has always usually been an indicator for any altcoin pumps that we might have, or alt season, whatever you want to call it. In my opinion, altcoins don't really pump and move hard until Bitcoin is done doing its thing. And that's partially the reason why I'm hoping that Bitcoin does just do this big 30% retrace move, is because I'd like to see that a big shakeout period where Bitcoin goes down, and then altcoins are also going to go really down. They're going to suffer more than Bitcoin. I expect all pairs to sell off if and when this shakeout happens. And then following that period, I expect altcoins to start pumping big. ETH BTC has traditionally been a good indicator in terms of overall altcoin health, the health of the altcoin market. And right now, price is trading right at the equilibrium of this range. This range has been established ever since 2018. I think that we're getting closer to the point where ETH BTC is near the bottom. And the reason for that is that we're seeing some signs of capitulation. We're seeing like very, very high sell volume come in. The most pretty much high sell volume on the weekly on this Coinbase chart for most of 2019. Of course, this doesn't include the great old COVID special where we had super high sell volume, not seen since 2017 alt season. But the ETH BTC sell volume was very high, and we saw some buyers step in a little bit. And what I'm hoping to see now is for price to see some follow-up volume-wise. If BTC continues to go really strongly, I expect ETH BTC and many altcoins really just to keep suffering. And, if Bitcoin went to like 35,000 or higher, then I wouldn't be surprised at all to see these range lows tapped, quite frankly. It would be really ugly for all alt BTC values. And remember, alt BTC values is just really altcoin price divided by Bitcoin price. So if altcoin price is staying the same or even still going up but not nearly as high as Bitcoin, then the alt BTC value is just going to keep going down. And whenever alt BTC values go down, it means that you would have been better off just holding your altcoin in Bitcoin instead, or just holding Bitcoin instead of your altcoin. So ETH BTC, I don't think it's quite there yet. What I'm waiting for is just a strong volume follow-up. And you could kind of see that more in the March area. I mean, basically anytime from December to March, it's generally a fairly strong time for altcoins. And you could even see it in 2018. You see like these big volume follow-ups. And this is basically what you want to look for in terms of altcoins really starting to pump and move, is you want to see big volume follow-up. But you can see here in 2018, you saw like a lot of selling in this area right here. And then this is like similar to what we're seeing right now, is we're seeing a lot of selling, but then you saw a lot of volume following up right here, right after. And you didn't really see it too much in December. I mean, you did see some high volume sell-offs for a few weeks, but then you did see this high volume follow-up. So you want to see the high volume follow-up when price starts to move, and that's kind of the confirmation that I'm kind of waiting for. Again, I don't think this alt BTC values really move until we see a strong shakeout for Bitcoin, whenever or wherever that is. Litecoin, I just analyzed this one on Twitter, and the basic note was that these supply zones, or like resistance, whatever you want to call them, they sometimes take quite a few days to get through. You saw here, this was the supply zone right before the COVID dump, where price, it looks like, went from 60 to 20, 25 bucks. And this one took several weeks to get through. Higher supply zone right here, right around 85 to 90. Again, this took several weeks to get through. This is the 3-day chart. And currently right here, here's yet another supply zone. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see price basically ping pong here for several days, if not a week, or more, and price to basically go higher. And this is a lot of this is going to depend too on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin just keeps climbing higher and higher and higher, then we are going to see Litecoin chew through this liquidity quicker. And it's super bullish still. I'm not calling this bearish in the least. Like, look at this insane volume. Just follow up is crazy. But there still are going to be sellers in this region. And once this area gets cleared, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see areas like 170 get tapped. This is like kind of the next area right here, 170 to 180. And then quickly after the 200s, in my opinion, is an area. XRP, this coin is obviously really, really, really bearish right now. And here was some hopium I posted for the XRP army. Maybe like an Adam and Eve reversal, but I'm not really quite sure, to be frank and honest with you, in terms of this reversing. There could be more bad news on the way. I don't know, but for now, I mean, this is like potential hopium for Ripple enthusiasts. I personally am not trading this coin. It has good liquidity and everything, but there's too much FUD around it for me to really, long-term hold this or anything like that. Like before, I used to actually did have a longer-term Ripple bag where I held it for like a few months and then I would just sell it. And I did buy some, I think in November sometime. But the problem is just that this just has so much FUD around it that I just don't know what's going to happen. And it's just, I think that this could still very well pump to like the 45s or even higher, but any potential pump is just going to have bad news looming over it. And I think that the potential of this pumping is going to be limited compared to what it was before the bad news. So it looks like I have some old BTC pairs basically on this list. I think that I just wanted to highlight too, this is kind of what we're seeing. There's several different types of reversal patterns for altcoins with their BTC pairs. And we're kind of seeing this now where we're seeing these long accumulation periods. This was one for seller. And yeah, I mean, this is still going on. It's still accumulating. Here is, so this is one type of reversal pattern, is the accumulation bottom. And what you'll just see is like basically for prices range for months on end, and then it'll start to move. Another accumulation pattern is the V-shaped reversal. This is what we saw with YFI. I mean, it's pretty clearly a V shape. And now price is coming all the way back down to the origin of the pump. It wouldn't surprise me to see this go even lower. I would like to think that YFI wouldn't go this low, but it's certainly possible. If Bitcoin still goes to 30,000, then this one's going to go to, 0.6. Would not surprise me at all to see this return. I'm still bullish on this personally, but and I'm gonna actually buy. I already have some originally from around this area in terms of the BTC pair. I bought it on this first move up, and I've just kind of held it. This is the other type of reversal pattern, and you saw this as well with regards to. You saw this for Ripple, and you saw this for like Dogecoin, where basically it's a V-shaped reversal. So one last thing I wanted to go through is I wanted to talk to you guys about the Bitcoin dominance chart that I have here. And this is just something really briefly that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I have a video on Bitcoin dominance, so check it out. I go into it a little more in detail, but basically the green boxes that I've marked here are times when altcoins really start to pump in late December or early January, And this has happened the last 3 years. Obviously, 2017 was the greatest alt season of all time. But the market cycles have been pretty consistent the last 3 years, where around December to January, altcoins really start to pump. This is the Bitcoin dominance inverted chart. So when you see price moving up, that's the altcoin value, or I guess altcoin dominance, so to speak. So, you know, when you see like a traditional Bitcoin dominance chart would be something like this, where you see Bitcoin dominance going higher as Bitcoin goes up. But I thought this was easier right here, the Bitcoin dominance inverted chart, to basically highlight overall altcoin values a little better than the traditional Bitcoin value chart, dominance chart. So I already, as I said, I went through a video on this, so please check it out. But basically, I wanted to talk to you guys about this market cycle being fairly consistent, where altcoins pump pretty hard from December to January. And you saw this again in 2018. December 12th was the start, and then it sort of stopped pumping around January 7th. Again, end of December 21st, 24th, and then it ended in February. So you have about a month time, followed by altcoins retracing hard for about a month. This in 2018, it was late January all the way to late March. This was a longer one because of how explosive that move was. This one right here in 2019 was January 13th to February 6th, so about a month. And this one was February 12th to March 25th, so again, about a month. You see altcoins cooling off after their big runs. And then furthermore, the blue boxes have been strong altcoin moves from usually March sometime in 2019. This is mid-February to early April. In 2020, it was March 25th. I think that was right near the COVID special, all the way to April. And then the tan boxes are where altcoins basically die in the summer. In 2018 and 2019, that was really a brutal time for many altcoin traders, myself included. And I just basically kept losing all throughout these 2 years. 2020 was really different. That was due to decentralized finance. And what we really saw was the cooling off period in September and October. And arguably, we are seeing it more now too. We're seeing further altcoin dominance just going further and further down, just because Bitcoin is so strong. When Bitcoin is super strong, Bitcoin is going to take more and more of the overall market share. And as I said, I don't see this changing until Bitcoin basically is done with its run. It's possible that maybe this is the area where it basically will tap around 20. Well, this will be the altcoin dominance chart, so 27%, and then maybe it'll bounce from there. But anyways, the bottom line is that I expect altcoins to really move strongly over the next few months. I believe it's going to move strong for 1 month here, starting in early January. I believe it's going to pull back in February. I believe it's going to bounce again in March to April, and then I'm not sure on the summer, but that's kind of my plan. So make sure you guys look at the Bitcoin dominance chart or the altcoin dominance, the inverse chart, when you can, and that will give you a good macro indication of what to look for. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little longer than normal, but I have not done videos in a few days, and I plan on cranking out quite a bit more content. So please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Thank you for watching.